Krista, why are you not willing to take this old bag in for us? We only just got married over here, right? Don't you think it's better if you take her and look after her instead of the two of us newlyweds?
Betty, it's been a while. When you said old bag, were you actually referring to my mom?
Who else would I be giving that well-deserved title to? I want you to take over handling this stingy and annoying old freak for us.
Could you stop it with all that horrible name-calling, please? She is my mom, okay?
I could care less about that, Christina. I'm only calling her by who she really is, right? A moneyless old bag. If you don't come over here to get her real soon, I'll have to kick her out of our house.
Betty, are you aware that it is my mom who has been asking to come and live with my older brother? And it's not just her that wants it, but my older brother as well. So you talking about her in that way seems to be you not showing any respect for our family. Is that right? Calling her things like annoying and poor are sorts of things that will make her really upset and might push her to becoming more distant from you.
I'm sure you just want to think of her in the nicest possible way because she was the only person that parented you. But to me, someone who was raised in a family with loads of money, all I can think of her as is a moneyless bag. I feel bad for the poor broad, but having to put up with her is driving me nuts.
You actually feel bad for her? From the way you keep talking about her, I'm not seeing any part of you that actually cares enough about her to be saying such things. It's making me sad to hear all this from you. What about my mom has made you so upset with her that you'd say such rude things?
That old bag is terrible at cooking decent meals for us.
What?
The only thing she can make well is bad food. And when it comes to the clothing she wears, it all looks like secondhand clothing bought at some Salvation Army. Just looking at her style makes me want to vomit.
You're making my mom cook while she's over there? Are you kidding me?
What are you trying to get at? Of course she is. We are the ones allowing her to live here with us, so the least she can do is cook.
No, I feel that if anything, you should be the one cooking for her.
And just be aware that I know about how your whole family has zero spending money because you all had to be raised by a single mother. I feel that just because you don't have the money to support her poor butt, you shouldn't be forcing someone like myself and your older brother to. Especially when just a bit ago, Zach was able to get into a great company. If we didn't have this old worthless bag over here, then we'd have enough money to do all sorts of things we want.
If you have the time to talk trash about my mom behind her back, then how about you go talk to my brother about her instead of me?
Huh? What are you saying? Right now, Zach and I are doing so well together. I have no need for you to tell me how to work my relationship with him.
Well, I'm not trying to control what you both do in your relationship, and if you really are doing well together, that's good to hear. But the way you're talking about my mom right now is not acceptable. You sitting there texting me all these complaints you have about her is not acceptable either, and I will not let you say anything more to me. If you really don't want my mom living over there with you guys anymore, then go tell that to my brother's face, please. Tell me, why are you not able to do that if things between you two are going so well?
Right now, Zach is really happy, believing that I'm great taking care of his mom for him. He buys me all sorts of brand bags and things like that to repay me for it. That's why I'm asking you to take care of this old bag for me. If he were to find out something like me kicking her out, then this whole awesome relationship we have would fall apart.
So this all has to do with you getting the things you want without having to make any sacrifices, huh? Understood. But this is not something I can do anything about. If you really want her to stop living there with you, go talk to your husband about it. And actually, you should really be talking with my mom about this so you can understand her side of the story. I think that she can explain to you that she's not the kind of person you think she is.
I don't get what you're on about. If you don't let me continue having a great relationship with your brother, I'm going to make both you and your mother pay for it.
And if you think that's such a good idea, then I'll make sure you pay for your actions tenfold. Goodbye now.
Krista, that hurricane today was insane, right? There was something funny about it all, though. Would you like to hear about it?
Something funny about it? Well, I'm sure whatever this something may be, it won't come without a price, right?
In the middle of the night, while the hurricane was raging, I sent that moneyless old hag outside. And now this place is all mine. That's why I said before that you should have hurried up and came and gotten that, Grandma. I wonder how things are going for her now.
You are the worst. That house is supposed to be like a home to my mom. But you took it from her without even asking.
I'm telling you right now that you need to take care of that moneyless old bag, all right? You and her can get along, both agreeing on things like not having any money or time to have fun.
I can see you're having a ball saying all that stuff about her, but if my brother were to find out about this, what do you think might happen?
You go ahead and let him know what happened, all right? Tell him that it wasn't my fault and that your mom chose to leave the house all by herself in the middle of the night. Make sure you tell her exactly what I said, word for word. You wouldn't want to ruin the most amazing relationship your older brother has with me, right? We have no need for someone in this house who doesn't have any money to share. I wanted this house for myself, so I tossed your mom out into the hurricane to find her way somewhere else.
If you're talking about my mom as though she's lost out there, you have it all wrong. She's with my brother and I at her condo.
What?
You are really the most stupid woman in Florida.
What do you mean by that? What's going on here? What condo are you talking about?
My mom happens to have a condo that she frequents every so often. And soon Zach will be coming back here as well.
Huh? A condo? I don't get it. Have you completely lost your mind now, too?
Ah, that's right. You probably never knew about the condo she holds on to, right? Well, it so happens that my mom has a lot of properties that you probably know nothing about. And to be honest, she's come from a life of fortune that probably even you could never fathom. That's how rich my mom is.
What? She has a lot of properties? What? I have no idea what you're trying to talk to me about right now.
I'm sure you don't, and I'm sorry about that. Lowlifes like you wouldn't have the mental capacity to understand what it's like being rich, right? I'm sure this is all a bit too difficult for you. Well, you not being able to understand what it's like to have money is none of my problem.
Wait, can you please explain this in a way I can understand? Tell me what the hell has happened.
My mom was only living in that house with you two because she wanted to live with my brother. But she was kicked out of that house last night, and so she invited me to come out and live with her for a while at her condo.
I never heard about her owning any condos.
And I can see that now. But we never told you about them in the first place. We didn't want you getting all nervous about my mom having all that money and all her properties. So we decided to make things more comfortable for you by not saying anything about it. We just wanted to make it seem simple, and that's why we said my brother wanted her to come live with them, and she wanted to live with him as well. And she was hoping to have a close relationship with you as well there. But instead, it turns out that you're a terrible person, and because of that, you made yourself look bad in front of her. All she was trying to do was make things less complicated for you. Yet you took all that the wrong way and forced her out.
Make things less complicated for me? What does that even mean?
You can think about that one yourself. But in the end, you kicked her out of the house in the middle of a hurricane. And I went there to get her with my car, and we both went back to her condo and are having a party right now to celebrate being free from you. All our family and friends are here too, having a wonderful time, so please don't come over ruining it for us. And you don't have to worry about her anymore, because she's already made it clear to us that she'll never live around you again.
What the heck? Are you for real? Your mom had a condo and you're all partying right now? This all makes zero sense to me, but you're telling me that an old hag like her that buys clothing from a secondhand store has all that?
She was only wearing that clothing to make you feel better around her. You really should be thankful that she did that for you.
So you're telling me that your mom really has a lot of money, right? Yet she just acted like she was poor while she lived with us?
It's not like she was trying to lie to you or anything. She just didn't want to stress you with thinking that she required more from you than you could give.
Are you trying to say that I'm poor or something?
I'm not trying to say it all that straight, but... Well, if you compare your life with the one my mom lives, you are pretty poor. But even after my mom tried to be nice to you by not acting all rich and snobby, you still acted out and treated her like she was the poor one, which we all understand very well now.
Huh? No. Wait a second. If you're really telling the truth about her having lots of money, then this is a totally different story. I didn't know at the time that she had all that money and all those properties under her name. I was just being fair with her by saying that she was a poor old bag because of the way she dressed and acted.
And that right there was way too thoughtless of you. Her being poor and without a lot of money didn't have anything to do with you being her daughter-in-law. She just wanted things to be about being a family, and that's it. She really wanted to become good family with you, and that was her only goal. However, instead of becoming friends with you, all she received was earfuls of you calling her horrible things all the time.
Wait, that wasn't what I had planned on doing.
Well, at this point, we are all aware that you're not the kind of person who is willing to be open-minded towards others. And since my mom is the most aware of that, she no longer needs to be around you. So with all that being said, we'd like you out of that house.
Huh? Why would I be the one to leave this house now? This is supposed to be our house.
Come on! You understand by now that you have no right to that house now, right? My brother will most likely be talking to you about this later, but that house is under my mom's name.
Huh? Are you sure?
So you really didn't know about that either, then? My mom didn't want to say anything to you because all you do is talk trash about her. Either way, my mom was letting the two of you live in that house as a present from her for your wedding.
Huh? I didn't know anything about that either. I just assumed that Zach had bought this place with his own money.
My brother only just got his first job working full-time. So do you really think he'd have the ability to afford a place like that? I'm just saying that place is not yours to live in, and so my mom will have you kicked out of there very soon if you don't leave willingly. She had hopes of one day giving that place to you guys and having her name removed, but I don't think she will be doing that for either of you guys now.
She won't give us this house? Huh?
She's telling me that as long as you're with my brother, she's not even going to continue to help him with the loan.
Huh? Loan?
Well, like I said, my brother only just started his first full-time job, and so he doesn't have the income to get his own loan yet. So in order to help him have a house for the two of you, or I suppose 3 of you could live in, she got a loan and helps him pay it off with some of her wealth.
I didn't even know about that part. What does all of this mean then? Are you trying to say that he doesn't have the income right now to afford the place?
Well, like I've said, he's very fresh to this world of business and working. You really had no clue about anything regarding him, huh? Honestly, I'm sure you were told all of this before, but you didn't want to understand it, so you just ended up ignoring him, right?
If his mom ends up stopping the help with that loan, what'll happen to us?
Well, you both will no longer be able to pay it off in time, and things will begin to fall apart there, right? She really tried her best to give Zach everything as well. But it's all because of his own wife that your lives will fall apart.
Krista? This time was a little... Well, this time I was just a little confused about things, and I'm sorry if that hurts you in any way. But right now, I understand everything completely, all right? So can we get back to becoming a happy family together again, right?
Get back to?
Can you tell your mom that she's allowed to come back home to our house now? Actually, let her know that I'll be coming to her condo. I think I should get some things together now to spend the night there, right? I'm sure you're all fine now with me coming to that party, right?
Really? Nice joke, Betty. You almost had me believing all of that as well for a bit.
Huh? Why are you saying that?
It's a little too late for you to act all happy and upbeat about what's happened. Mom has already told us she no longer wants to have any ties to you. And I thought that was implied by everything I was telling you this whole time. There is no longer going to be a day where she wants to be in your company. Honestly, you'll never even be hearing from her again, Betty.
What? Hold on, okay? So, does this really mean I'm going to have to leave this house? If I get tossed out of here, I'll be in real trouble. And if she were to cause some kind of trouble for Zach, do you know what that might do to our marriage?
That's not something I care about. This is all because of the way you treated my mom, right? To break it to you in the most straight way possible, the way you've acted has made an enemy of my mom. And I had warned you of that sooner, right? I asked that you no longer talk poorly of my mom and maybe go chat with her about all your complaints.
Then you should have just told me about all of this instead of letting me continue.
Huh? I'm not your freaking parent.
But you could have at least told me she was loaded, and then none of this would have happened. I would have never said anything bad about her after that, and we could all be living our dreams right now.
The fact that you only change your attitude from good to bad based on someone else's money shows me that you're just the scummiest person on the planet. You think I want you to be around my mom when you're that kind of monster?
Krista, this is getting really bad. I'm getting call after call from Zach right now. Does he already know about what happened to your mom?
Well, he just arrived a couple of minutes ago and my mom explained everything to him. He became very, very red in the face and then stormed upstairs saying he'd give you a call.
You're lying, right? That means I'm completely screwed now.
Exactly. You always liked making everyone else have to deal with your crap. But it seems this time all that crap is coming for you. Well, that's all I have to say about things. You are done for, Betty. Now, I'd answer the next call from him if I were you. The woman that you kept calling a moneyless old bag? Well, that's going to be you in the next 10 years or so. You idiot! In the end, Zach found out all about the things that Betty had been up to and told her that he wanted a divorce. He also told her that his mom would have the house sold back to the bank and that they'd all be moving out, so she had no choice but to leave. Betty tried going to her mother-in-law about all of this and begged for forgiveness, but everyone in the family had had enough of her and ignored all her pleas. Betty ended up kicked out of the house by the bank and was not able to go back home to her parents, which cut ties to her, leaving her to live life on the road. Had she only been a bit nicer to those she knew little about, she'd be having the time of her life living with enough money to keep her entertained. Even Krista's mom was thinking so much about becoming close to her daughter-in-law that she was getting ready to give them one of her condos as a place to spend their time off. But that idea was quickly crushed by Betty being such a miserable person. I guess it's a good thing this all happened to my mom, because we learned far sooner that Betty was nothing more than a self-centered child deep inside, and that a condo wouldn't fit that kind of personality. Now, Betty is stuck working as a factory worker, breaking down tuna and canning them, all for minimum wage at around 60 hours per week. She does this from sunrise to sunset, all while thinking about how badly she screwed up by acting like a complete child to her in-laws. I'm sure it's really tough for her now, But this is what she deserves to help her realize to be nice to strangers. As for the rest of the family, they have all gone back to living their lives as normal. Krista is back at her place getting back to work and living her life as she always has. And Zach has gone back with his mom to her condo with all his and her things to live there for a while until he has enough money saved up for his own house. I feel bad that this all happened to Zach, really, as he didn't do anything wrong to deserve losing the gift that his mother gave him. But I'm sure that somewhere down the line she'll be willing to help him again with another gift.